Womanshelter Promotional. Can I help you? Where's the person who's hurting you? Is it safe for you to talk now? How many times have I answered the hotline a call like this? This headline brings back memories, but headlines can't possibly tell what Womanshelter's story is. I've been a counselor advocate for almost 20 years at Womanshelter. Womanshelter was started by 3 women, all of them by the name of Jane. Back then, women used to have to serve their own restraining orders, and it was terrifying for them to do. We would meet with her, and we would go to court with her for support. We would help her fill out the paperwork, and then we would go up in front of the judge with her so she could stand and tell her story. If the judge decided he wanted to grant the restraining order, he would grant it. She would have to serve him. It was dangerous, very dangerous. The families we work with are like people you see every day. A lot of people think women who have been abused are poor women, minority women. But abuse hits all cultures, ages. And so it's someone that you see that's shopping. We are one of the few shelters that bring in women from their own area, and we take great pride in doing that. It takes a lot of courage for a woman to pick up that phone to call us, because in the beginning they hear nothing but bad talk about shelters, especially from their batterer. She's worried, she's crying, she's depressed, she goes through all these changes. They're carrying the baggage of all the myths that people talk to her about shelters. Once they get to our shelter, they're expecting to see the worst. So when they walk in, they're kind of like amazed. It's so warm and so cozy. Once a woman gets in the shelter and she really has settled in and she's made friends, they do become like a big family. They've gotten to be so close that maybe one want to do the cooking for the whole household, which is good. And we encourage that they all sit down at the table and eat like a family, which you do see. You can look out the kitchen window while the moms are preparing the meals, and you can see the children playing out in the backyard. Again, kids will be kids. Sometimes they play all right and sometimes they don't. But they make up at the end. Children will do children things. They run up and down the stairs. They eat their snacks. We do not make them pay for their food. We do not make them pay for their stay at our shelter. When we find out a child has a birthday, we make sure that child, we try to keep it normal. We make sure that child has a birthday. We celebrate all holidays that mother may have celebrated. We have a very good advocate who's very patient, very caring. Takes the children on different field trips, and she'll do different activities with them. She also gives the mother time to have quiet time for themselves. We started with 1 staff person, and now we have 3 advocates in the courts. We have a community education person. We have a child care advocate, and we also have a teen specialist. We're one of the few battered women organizations in the state that has it. We have support groups in English, Spanish, and we also have an elderly support group. During the support groups, the women learn a lot. They learn about the cycle of violence. They learn about the different types of abuse. And a lot of time it's hard for a woman to open up and speak in front of someone else because she feels embarrassed, or she feels like it was her fault, or she feels that maybe someone's going to judge her or point a finger at her. And generally when she does start talking, she may start crying, you see other women kind of like take notice and be very comforting to her, because they can also relate to what this woman is going through. And they also see that they're not the only one that's gone through this or experiencing it. And generally, most batterers all went to the same school because they all have the same behaviors. We tell women what their options are. We let them make their own decisions. It's their life. We say, these are your options. Because when she makes that final decision, she has to live by it, not us. What makes me feel good is when a woman finally has an income where she's able to pay for rent She has food for her children. And last but not least is when I see her smile. From what you've told me, it sounds like you need shelter. I'm so glad that you did reach out and make the phone call. I understand it takes a lot of courage to do this. Is there a safe place that I can meet you and your children so that you can come into shelter?